This weekend marked the anniversary of the death of the first and only Medford police officer killed on the job.
A man remembered not only for his service, but what he did for the community in his spare time. News 10's Crystal Henderson has the story.
It's a story every local police officer knows by heart.
It's something that every Medford police officer that walks in the door is told the story.
The first and only Medford police officer killed in the line of duty. 80 years later, his memory still alive.
Just a lesson of what happened in good and bad, and it's something to keep in mind when officers are out there serving on a daily basis, putting their life at risk.
The story of Constable George Prescott, written in a book by Margaret LaPlante. Chapter 1 doesn't start with the day of his murder.
A lot of chaos and mayhem, turmoil happening the weeks leading up to this.
People think of the past as this idyllic time. Well, it really wasn't. It was during the height of the Depression, but also the government around Jackson County had been corrupted by this group, and it was really some dark times actually in Jackson County.
Llewellyn Banks, the head of the corrupt group and the tragic tale's leading character.
He created what he called the Good Government Congress, but all that really was his own plot to overthrow the local government. He wanted to put his own people into office, being the sheriff, the district attorney, and the judge.
Banks stole thousands of ballots to get his way. Police found out and got a search warrant to arrest him.
It wasn't just a simple went to serve a search warrant. Mr. Banks had been threatening to kill any law enforcement officer that tried to arrest him. He threatened to go out feet first over their dead bodies.
On March 16, 1933, the warrant led Prescott and an Oregon State Police sergeant to Banks' door on Main and Peach Street. That door still marked by what happened that day.
The story is that his wife answered the door, and he was behind her with a rifle, had the wife step out of the way, and he fired through the door and killed Constable Prescott.
The murder drew a crowd of people to the crime scene. What happened, black and white. Banks was arrested on scene. It was a shocking crime leading to a trial that played out on the front pages of newspapers across the nation. Banks was found guilty of murder.
It was shortly after that murder that this Good Government Congress imploded on itself, and the county government was saved and cleaned up.
A bizarre story remembered for the chaos that started it, and for the man who not only gave his life that final day, but every day he lived it.
I think, a lot of people, all of us included, really focus on the fact that he was slain in the line of duty, which is a huge sacrifice, and we're always going to remember him for that piece. Yet it was a service that really is something that we should focus on, and his ability to take care of the community back in the early days of Medford.
He was involved with the community outside of his work. He helped juveniles. He helped what we would now call a food bank, but always involved with the community.
80 years later, his story still being told.
I think anytime someone who is in the public service who gives their life should have recognition for that for many decades beyond their life.
Covering your news in Medford, Crystal Henderson, News 10.
Medford's largest park, Prescott Park, was named after George Prescott. He was known for being a big supporter of park development. Meanwhile, historic video and pictures we used in this story are courtesy of the Southern Oregon Historic Society.